I feel very fortunate that we were given this opportunity to give you some insight into our family. My name is Joe. My son's name is Aiden. He actually has more than one health impairment. One of them is Osteogenesis Imperfecta type 4. It really wasn't until second grade that Aiden had his first fracture. He had fell at school, broke his right arm, nothing really serious. Then in fourth grade, he had a second fracture. This time it was his left arm. And this one required a more invasive treatment, including surgery. I remember the surgeon coming out of the operating room and telling me, it appears that your son has really fragile bones, and also I noticed he has the blue tinge in the sclera of his eyes. It really wasn't until sixth grade that things really started to deteriorate. He had right pain in his thigh, and I just thought it was a pulled muscle. A couple weeks later, pain was getting worse. I took him in back to the orthopedic surgeon. They did some x-rays and CAT scans, and I found out that when Aiden was growing, his femur was fracturing. Like many things, I'd like to forget, but I never will forget. He had to go into a wheelchair. Aiden and I had moved to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We love nature. It's absolutely beautiful up there, a lot of snow. Right away, I had established a team of doctors, family doctor, a genetic counselor. I remember him getting a lot of blood drawn. Got sent out to a couple different labs, and I got called back probably a few weeks later, and there was a defect of collagen 1A2. We were fortunate to have a couple of University of Michigan doctors that would fly up to the Upper Peninsula from Ann Arbor. One of which is the nucleus of his care, Dr. Carrad. She is a pediatric orthopedic surgeon. He also has a great endocrinologist that started him on some IV bisphosphonates. Additionally, at that time, I remember having the DEXA scan done, and with his combined scores, he was -3, which approximately is that of an 80-year-old. I've never underestimated how determined Aiden was, but I knew from his academic growth and social growth that anything was possible with him. If somebody was going to be able to get out of the wheelchair, he was going to be able to do it. Sure enough, after many trips from Marquette to Ann Arbor, which is about 900 miles round trip, and with a great team of doctors, Aiden's bone density had improved. He was starting to fall within the normal limit range on his DEXA scores. Therefore, we started a heavy physical therapy regimen. Then the both of us joined the YMCA in Marquette. I believe it was in 8th grade that he was able to get out of the wheelchair, which was amazing. You know, I think as adults, sometimes we look at our favorite music artists, football player, basketball player, baseball player, you name it. And those are our heroes. And after seeing Aiden go through what he had to go through, I never in my life actually thought that my own son was going to be my hero. It's not easy for any parent to see their child hurt. I remember sitting there, whether it was him having his infusions and feeling weak and wishing I could take the pain away, or being in a children's hospital and seeing kids that don't deserve to go what they're going through. I can't believe Aiden is a senior this year. He's physically healthy, academically, he's doing great. He's a powerful young man. Recently, he had submitted his SAT scores and his transcripts to Central Michigan University. I think it was last week. We actually had a virtual conference with the admissions department there and found out he was accepted. I don't know which one of us was more excited. We're both excited. So in the fall, he'll be going to Central. I think we need to make sure we're doing what the OI Foundation is asking us to do, and make sure we're getting awareness out there, writing our governors for proclamations like the one from our Michigan governor here from last year. Get involved. I actually became a parent mentor, completed some training, which is behind me here. That's for the Children's Special Healthcare Services for the state of Michigan. So if somebody calls and needs help with any health impairment, they can call me, and hopefully I can guide them and make an impact in their lives. Because like the Osteogenesis Foundation has in our lives, they'll never understand how much of a difference they made. And I can never exclude the Children's Brittle Bone Disease Foundation. So thank you for letting me share our story.
Hi, my name is Aiden, and I have Osteogenesis Imperfecta type 4. My dad has raised me since I was 3 years old, and my mom, sadly, has had no involvement with my life. So my dad has had to fill both parenting roles, but he has done a fantastic job doing so, and therefore has done a fantastic job raising me. I experienced my first fracture in 2nd grade when a kid accidentally bumped into me, causing me to fall and catch my fall with my arm. I fell on my left arm, causing an elevated fracture. This ultimately required a surgery to fix. At this point, I had not been diagnosed with osteogenesis imperfecta. In 6th grade, it had been discovered that chronic stress fractures had been developing on my right femur. Ultimately, this resulted in me needing to use a wheelchair. I had little hope that I was going to be able to overcome this, and out of desperation for a solution to the problem that would allow me to live without a wheelchair following me around wherever I went, my dad advocated for me so I could get the right medical treatment. But it took more than just physical strength to overcome this. It took willpower and mental toughness to overcome it. And eventually I did. And I got stronger and smarter than I was before. An incident happened with our car that had rendered us without a viable means of transportation. And In solution, we received unbelievable support from the Children's Brittle Bone Disease Foundation. They helped us get into a car, and we are forever grateful. I had always been a fan of football, more specifically the Denver Broncos, and their old quarterback Peyton Manning, who was one of the smartest players to be in football, in my opinion. I took the initiative, without my dad knowing, and signed up for football. Even though he is a firefighter, I think it might have been the first time I had seen him scared. I was cleared to play football, and I was asked what would happen if I got knocked down. I replied, well, I'd just get back up. I joined a peer-to-peer class dedicated to mentoring kids with disabilities. I worked with kids to make them feel included with everyone else and made them feel accepted. I also did volunteer community work through the Interact Club and National Honor Society. I also got to go to the Children's Brittle Bone Disease Foundation's 27th golf outing. While there, I got to meet Alec from the Shriners Hospital commercials, where we were both able to give great speeches to the audience there. Just this past week, as a great accomplishment, my application to apply to Central Michigan University was accepted. Even though, from hearing this, you may think Peyton Manning might be my hero. In reality, my dad is my hero because even though he has his own health impairment that he struggles with, he always continues to be a great father that gets stronger and stronger every day and never quits, no matter how tough things get. And with my story, I hope I can inspire others to know that it doesn't matter how dim things may appear to be, there's always hope.